Andy, best feeling in the world for a coach after a win like that, I imagine.
Oh yeah, I mean it's great to see a big score like that, but we're just proud really that we stuck to scripts, because you get games like this and it can run away, and you know, you start trying silly things, and you know, we managed to pull that back a little bit and stick to what we're trying to do as a squad, and you know, stick to our game model. So yeah, just proud of the lads really, just for sticking at it, and we had a good reaction at half time. So just addressing a few points, and then going into the second half and seeing, you know, a progression, were really good.
Tom, in a game like that, a lot of tries going over, must be difficult for you to maintain the professionalism a little bit. What was it like that?
Yeah, coming to Northwich, a bit of an unknown quantity, and then obviously a lot of points going in. All respect to them, but there's no momentum with that, so it's just a case of next job, thinking about the next thing. If we get a bit ahead of ourselves, look at the next ruck, next line out, next phase of play.
I was going to ask you what you say at half time now, because that was a funny first half. You were 25-0 up, you had the try bonus, you were having the better of it obviously with ball in hand, but at the set piece you were struggling a little bit. And obviously the way the tries were going over, it had the potential, like you said, to get away a little bit, maybe get a little bit immature. What did you say at half time to keep that on track?
The key thing for us was the sort of tempo of the game, and obviously the penalty count in the first half was much higher than the second. So what we wanted to address really was the ruck. So we addressed that, and you know, we looked at winning that race and getting in there first, and that's what the boys did. They reacted to that, we got in at the ruck and it was cleaner. And that's what the referees want to see. They want to see a clean ruck. You know, they're on their own out there. So if you make it a nice easy game for them, then they sort of become on your side. So yeah, we got that clean ruck. It was fast ball, and it allowed us to play, and that's you know, that's the aim at the end of the day, is to play fast and keep the tempo high, and you know, we did much better at that in the second half.
Early on there was a lot of technical jousting between both teams. The scrum, despite the score, the scrum wasn't necessarily going great for you, and the set piece was going better for them. So early on, did you find yourselves having to sort of manage the game a little bit?
Yeah, it was a bit frustrating early on, because just figuring them out. So we had some big props, and they ran a good defensive line out. So it was a case of to and fro and figuring them out. But fair credit to us that we actually stuck to it and thought about it and drilled it really.
But you built into the game. I think it was 25-0 at half time. Second half, filled your boots a bit really, and you've got to really enjoy it when you're winning like that.
Yeah, we've got to, in this league, if we want to go up, if we want to challenge at the top, it's all about points. So just keeping our heads, putting the points over. So yeah, that was the goal today. There's a goal at half time as well.
Let me just ask you about a couple of individuals. I know a lot of try scorers, but I think Miles Hall showed a lot of quality today. I know Burden was saying he was being a bit greedy, which is probably true, but he finished well. I'd also like to ask you about the debutant in Danny Martin. Got himself involved in the game, even though he wasn't necessarily playing his exact position. And great to see Josh de Groot back after a couple of years out. Did his ankle a couple of years ago from Mac, and it's been a long road back. So great to see those players.
Yeah, I mean, Miles, you know, he's what a character. But yeah, he can be greedy. If he's going to finish like that, you know, he can be greedy, and as long as that, you know, we're supporting him on them runs, then we're happy. So yeah, plenty of experience, and when he knows he's on top, he'll just keep going. So great to see that from Miles. And then then Danny Martin, you know, coming in, he's worked so hard. You know, he's a technical scrum half, and he really wants to develop himself in that position. Unfortunately, you know, he sort of starts on the wing, but he did a great job. He got involved in the game straight away, finished off a great try, and then took kicking duties, and we managed to swap him in at 9 for, you know, the last 18 minutes. So you know, hats off to him for working so hard and finally getting in the squad and doing so well when he came on. De Groot, yeah, what a monster, and you know, he'll get better. You know, the more he trains, the more he's involved, he'll just get better and better for us. But he brings some great qualities. He brings a physicality to the game. He brings a high ball carry and weight to the pack. So lots of benefits from De Groot, and yeah, I hope for the best.
Yeah, and set up nicely for next week, really, because you played the 2 promoted teams the last 2 weeks, which helped you build into the season a little bit. Next 2 games are the 2 sides that came down, so that's going to be a different thing altogether. Good to get some confidence going into those games.
100%, yeah. It's good to run the patterns and sort of fine tune everything a little bit. So to go into these 2 games now, loads of confidence, and we're going to drill it in training. So yeah.
Last question. It sets up for a juicy one back home at Priory Park next week. I believe Otley have won. I'm not sure what the final score was, but comprehensively against Preston.
Yep.
So it's set up for a real tasty one. It's going to be a step up next week.
100%. Otley are a great side. You know, they're a quality Yorkshire team. They've always got a good core of players, and they do well with recruitment. So they'll be strong. And you know, we've got to step our game up. It's you know, we've done that each week against Burnage, then today, and we're working on things every week. And we are a growing team, and we're never going to be the finished article. So we know we need to step up against Otley, and I think we can. You know, we do rise to big games, and again, it's at home, so we get the crowd behind us, and the boys are on task again. You know, it's anyone's game, so I'm confident. We put a good score on today. The boys are in good spirits. We've got players coming back in next week, so yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Sorry, last question. Milo had a good game today, didn't he? Lots of step in. He's greedy, isn't he?
He's he's had at least 2 men every try then, but you know what he's like anyway. He's after that top try scorer.
Those guys sold the dummies for him, really, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. It's not about him.
Birds, go and celebrate with the lads. Well done today.
Cheers, Stats.